Hi guys, welcome to another episode of On Ghetto Stories. It's your girl Agnes, but some of you guys know me as Agnesita. Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of On Ghetto Stories. So this episode is going to be the second part to the first segment or episode that I was talking about on all things modeling. It was so long that I didn't want to like restrict myself on the time limit and give you, too less information or too little information. So I opted to, have a second part and just give you more in-depth information. So this episode basically is going to be sectioned into kind of like two parts, right? One part is kind of like two parts. So the first part would just be like me telling you what types of modeling there are out there, and I mean the essential ones I'm going to give you, and then I'll give you the requirement measurements that are needed for such modeling kinds. So and then after that, then I'm gonna give you a second part on how to then proceed, what are the steps for you to take into joining one, or how to just steps on how to become a model basically. So just pay attention to the first part, because if all of this applies to you, then you know how to move on, like, okay, this is me, check check check, okay. So then the second part can kind of be very self-explanatory, or at least you get it better as we move on. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to give you guys, just maybe top three, four kinds of modeling that they are. And obviously the first ones are editorial models. So this kind of modeling is that they are known as high end fashion models anyways. These are editorial models that you see on magazines, Harper Bazaar, Vogue, every or any different kind of magazines that are top out there. So also these are also models that work for high-end fashion brands, like Louis, Prada, Armani, etc. So and such models, the requirement for such models are 33, 23, 33. These numbers in such order, I'm basically saying 33 inches when it comes to your bust area, 23 inches when it comes to your waist area, and 33 inches when it comes to your hips area. So this obviously is the required measurement for female models. I'm not really sure about the male models, but in general, for most male models, I just know you need to be between the like you need to weigh between 120 pounds to 170 pounds, based on whether you're a skinny model or you're a kind of muscular, fit kind of models. So you guys can convert this pounds to however, maybe kilogram if you're in Europe, with different places, so you can convert to see a male model how it should be. Female model, obviously you need to be, I don't want to give you an exact modeling way number, because you should basically adhere to this measurement requirement. These are the actual first thing they would check before they actually check your weight. And obviously your weight depends on how tall you are. Requirement necessarily, you need to be 5 feet 9 inches tall. So obviously it's preferred to be even taller than this, but this is like the cut mark for how tall you need to be, and obviously adhere to this measurements. So you can convert that to centimeters if you want to know how that is. For me, I'm 132 pounds, so that's about 60 kg. I mean, it fluctuates up and down, but regardless, I'm just giving you the high, at least average weight that I'm usually constant within. And obviously I'm 5'9", so I'm about 177 centimeters tall, and with that 132 pounds, let's say, so that's about 60 kilograms. And obviously I'm really tall. I have a lot of muscles, so hence all of this all of this built weight. But obviously I have my weight is technically taken 32, 24, 35, meaning my bust size is 32 inches. My waist size is 24 inches, and my hip size is 35 inches. It's a bit bigger just because, black people, we do have big hips in general. But, and also it fluctuates. Sometimes it can be 34 inches, sometimes it can be 35 inches. But I'm giving you the extreme, anyways, that I can be. So, obviously, without dieting or whatever. But and yeah, so basically that's all my measurements. So for you to be an editorial model, or if you want a specific requirement, weight and height, so you know where you belong, you need to be 33, 33, 24, 33. No, sorry, I meant to say 33, 23, 33. Just get it as 333. So 33, 23, 33. But obviously you don't have to be exactly this inches. One or the other can fluctuate up than the other. So for example, like me, my hips is at least 35, 34, 35, but let's say 35. So it's not like 33, but my hips is 30, my bust is 32 compared to 33. So I have a smaller on that end. So you can it doesn't have to be nip on the bust like exactly. So it also depends on your height, because also if you're really taller, they can overlook some of this errors in their opinion. And yeah, so, and also, all agency or all clients, they look at the whole package. And by the way, so don't feel discouraged, even though I'm giving you all this hard stuff, and you're converting it now and probably thinking, oh shit, I don't belong. But don't give up. Don't think, okay, that's it. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can be a bit taller or a bit shorter, but they can look at the whole package and kind of see what they can do with you, obviously. So you can't be too short, and you can't be too less, I mean too more within the measurement, obviously. So that's just that. And when it comes to runway or catwalking models, usually editorial models, they do this as well. But there's also a different measurement when it comes to this. 23, 34. These are the preferred measurement requirement for you to be a fashion or runway catwalk model. And you need to be at least 5'9" or more feet inches tall. So yeah, this is basically what the industry prefers, because designers will make the clothes to fit a 34, 23, 34 model. So if you're, because they're not making the clothes to fit us per se, unless you're a celebrity, then, which is a different story. Celebrities are necessarily not models, but yes, they can model the clothes, for PR and marketing, etc. But those are the only exceptions. I mean, of course, some models, some designers, when they know you a bit as well, they can sort of do some nip and tuck here and there, base. Because I've seen some a model once that had really, really big bust, but they really wanted her to wear specific outfits, so they just did a quick change. And because not all models, not all designers finish all the products exactly that day. Sometimes they just have some pin to kind of hold it, and later on they stitch it and do everything together. So yeah, so that's about it, I think, for the measurements. So guys, don't feel discouraged, like I said earlier. Okay, so if you want to be within modeling, within this, fashion modeling, these are the requirements. Now, for commercial modeling, there's a commercial modeling. Technically, there is no requirement because commercial varies. Sometimes if commercials want to use models, then they go to the model agency and they say they want models. But if they want a different kind of cast to their project, then they welcome all shapes and sizes. Of course, they will specify that yes, we want black models, or we want Asian models, or we want tall models, we want short models, or we want a size fit with so amount of numbers. So they will specify that. So it could be tall, short, big, thin. It varies. Yes, there is no requirement for commercial models. So this is why I always tell a lot of people that are short to opt for commercial modeling instead. And besides, commercial models, just side note, they do pay more than a fashion model. Okay, they do pay more. Okay, I'm not even gonna front, I'm not even gonna lie. So I did a few of those because I was like, wow, okay, like, technically my own passion, my own goal, what I want to do is a fashion high-end modeling as a model per se. But commercial, it's like, okay, that's kind of like a side job to your actual job. So that's a good one. That's a good chunk of money. But I'm gonna go later to the whole struggles of everything, of castings, etc. So other than commercial models, there are petite models, which are like thin and short because of their shoe size. They could fit into gloves and sometimes even lingeries or swimsuits. So they're really, honestly, modeling varies. And I actually did my bachelor back when I was studying at SGH in Warsaw, in Poland. I did it on modeling, but obviously it was connected to the business aspect area. But yes, I gave a lot of this information back then. Now that I'm talking about it, it just dawned to me like, wow, Agnes, this is like kind of deja vu. Like, you've done this before, you've talked about this before. And I remembered back then my supervisor was so like intrigued and like, wow, this is what you go through, this is what you do, like, this is interesting, like, bring me more and more resources. She was really interested in this. So what are the steps in order for you to be a model? What are the steps you need to do even? So here is the fun part, and I think here is the part you guys have all been waiting for. So let's take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Stay right put, and we'll be right back. I know lockdown is making everybody go crazy, especially in Warsaw, Poland, and other European parts of the countries, except Sweden, of course. I'd like to just remind you guys to take and use this opportunity to do something and learn something in your spare time. Have you always thought and wondered and have that thing at the back of your mind you always wanted to do or just make? Now is the perfect time rather than using time as a factor for an excuse. If you'd like to learn a new language, Duolingo is a perfect application for that. If you'd like to learn how to cook, YouTube is a great platform for that. If you'd like to be a content creator, download Instagram, download TikTok, and start right away. If you'd like to learn new courses, LinkedIn is a great platform for that as well. If you like to read new books, InstaRead is a great application. These are my tips, and podcast for me is a great outlet to do in my time. So what possibly could you lose from trying? So get started and just do it. Go for it. Welcome back, guys. So yes, how do you start out as a model? So I'm just going to go very hypothetical. Let's say you're just, like a schmegular regular person, and you're like, I want to be a model. You know nothing about the model world, right? you, let's say you don't even have model friends except for me on Instagram, right? And you text me, so literally what I would tell you, and I've told other people before in the past, would be, like I've said earlier, do you fit into any of this re- measurement requirements that I've told you? First, just take, your measurement, measure your body, just like I already laid it out there. Now write them down and see, okay, do I fit it or not? If you're way too short, way too, big in your hips, bust, and waist, it's not for you. Now, there are some plus size models that I actually forgot to mention, but it's not a lot of plus size models that they're hiring, but it's getting better, in also foreign countries like London, the States, etc. So, and plus size model, honestly, they kind of make it like a size 6 and above, and we all know that's not even a plus size model. There are way more bigger models or bigger girls out there, so they're still a bit restricted. But let's say, now I'm just talking to you as a model. Let's say you're slim and you think you want to be a model. Okay, if you're shorter and you don't fit within the description of the measurements that I gave earlier on in this episode, and you're not even like a plus size model, so like 6 and above, so what I can suggest for you is you belong in the commercial modeling state. And I'm going to give you, I guess, later on how to go about the whole commercial sector. Right now, I'm going to talk about how to just apply and go about and steps towards being, a model. So, let's say you fit into the description, you're tall, you meet the marks, you're between 33, 34, 23 inches, this inches. You can be a bit up or down, you don't have to be exactly, but let's say, you've hit most of the requirements. Now, what I would suggest for you to do will be look up whichever city that you're in. It's always better to check the city you're in because you have easier access to meet with the agency, to because every now and then you're going to do a cross check, a checkup with your agency, because trust me, they always check your body every now and they always do a fresh snaps, and I'm going to tell you what that means later on. So it's always better to be in the same city. A lot of people can have it like out of town, or sometimes people even have it in another country, but that's a bit different. I think that's more like if you want to have extra agency abroad, like if you're going on a contracts and stuff like this. So, but you could check also out of town. It depends, but it'll be harder for you a bit. You know what I mean? Because traveling back and forth, it's not easy, guys, and it depends what you're doing too. If you have a job on the side, if you're studying, etc. But let's say you're in another city, and because I always suggest to find agencies that are in the capital, because they have more better options out there, for job offers and stuff like this. So it also depends. Of course, let's say you live really, really far from the capital, then obviously it's just better to stay in your city or nearby city. But if you're close enough to the capital, then yeah, go for it. Apply for agencies in the capital because it's better opportunities out there in itself. So now what you're gonna do is you check the just type top 5, top 10. I would say top 10 agencies in whichever city you want to opt for. Now when you see all those agencies, now you go. I wouldn't suggest you to go for the top 5 or 3 even per se. Honestly, I would tell you to go more for the 8, 9, and 10. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because first, if you're an amateur model, it's always better to go for the bottom modeling agency, because they're going to give you more focus, they're going to give you more, more touch. They're gonna want to be able to groom you knowing that you're an amateur model. Now if you go for the top models on the top, they might be a bit interested in the beginning, and yes, you're there, but they won't put that much attention onto you. So you might see yourself getting less jobs compared to other models. Not that you should compare yourself to other models, by the way, because everybody is different. But I'm just saying that sometimes if you're an amateur model, going to the top models is just a waste of time, because they won't put as much effort as they're putting into you, like they are putting in other models that are already achieving it. And now let's say you have a huge following followers on your social media platform. Now that's a different case. You can opt for that, because now the agencies, they know what to work with, and they wouldn't mind grooming you, because anyways they see that, okay, there are opportunities on your social media that they could use and they could kind of piggyback off on. So that would be at least something for them to kind of say, okay, we can benefit, it's a bit easier for us to work with her or him on. But if you don't have any followers, you don't even have a social media platform, you don't know what it is, you're a new person, you don't know the game and everything, it'll be a bit harder, because they don't have time, they're on a faster pace. They're dealing with celebrities, they're dealing with models that just got out of some model TV shows, etc. So it will be really hard for you. So I suggest go on the list, the last few top models on the bottom list, and then go on each page, and sometimes you can see their Instagram handle. Take this username, go on your Instagram, check this out, go through all of the modeling, all the models and all the pictures that they post on their timeline. See if they have anybody that looks like you there. If they have already more than 3 or 4, honey, just check another model agency. Why I say this is because a lot of model agencies are looking for something special. They're looking for something that they don't have before on their board. And their board means, like, when you go into their agency, they have, which I'm going to tell you later on, they have pictures of all their models. So if they see your red hair, say for example, and they have already 3, they don't need you. It's like, yeah, they already have it, and it's gonna be competition for their own models that they already have there. So they'll just tell you that, sorry, we can't help you, unless there's a lot of jobs that that's like, they need a lot of red hairs, and they need a lot of models. Then yeah, okay, but it's very rare. I would not advise you on this. So check this out and see, do they have a short hair girl, do they have a freckle looking girl, do they have, what I mean, just you get a feel. You even get a feel if it's somewhere you belong to, because there's some model agencies, they necessarily don't go for like odd looking faces. They don't go for, if you have too much cheekbones or short hair or tattoos or even a little piercing here and there. Like, it's not advisable, by the way, to have tattoos and piercing, but I'm just saying there's some agencies that go with odd model looking, like. So you check this and you see for yourself, is it somewhere that I belong in? Is there a need for me in this agency? Then if your answers are yes, 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 then yeah, now you go on their web page and you go to their contact. Somewhere even before the contact, sometimes they always have a form that says, oh, how to apply for a model, or you want to become a model, or you want to reach out to us, and click on that. You just have to navigate through the website to see this. And if it's in a different language, just change your Google settings. You're going to see somewhere where you could kind of have a translation on the whole website, and it's going to translate to your preferred language of choice, and you see where you can do your application. And if you still don't have this translation method, just keep copying and pasting until you know what you need, don't get discouraged, okay? Because it's really hard. Or just ask a friend of yours to help you through this feeling process. It's usually not hard. It's just you need to write all your weight measurement requirement like I've suggested in the beginning, so write that down. But they're gonna check again to confirm when you end up meeting them. If you make the cut and you end up meeting them, so do not lie about your measurements. Write it exactly how it is. And what they're also going to tell you to send to them would be your it's not like a portfolio per se, because if you're an amateur, obviously you don't have a portfolio, but they're going to ask you to kind of send them a few pictures, and these pictures are kind of like fresh pictures of you. So it can't be pictures you took, last month, last year, in a vacation. No, no, no. It can't be those kind of pictures. It's like they want to see your rawness, they want to see your raw look, and preferably in front of a white background. So they want to see your full body picture from the front, right? They want to see your profile picture, and your profile picture means your side picture. It's like you're looking away and the camera is taking like your shoulder, your head, and everything, but you're not looking into the camera. It's just a side profile picture. And then they want to get a shorter, almost like an American picture, but it's kind of like from your face to your waist almost, so you get a closer look on you. Then sometimes they require a back picture too, but it's not usually necessary. But just get all of this pictures. Some agencies online also prefer you and or would require you to send them a picture of you talking, like an introduction picture. So you can say, "Hi, my name is Agnes, I'm 25, and blah, blah, blah." And, you send it. And sometimes some people would even require you to send a walking video, but it's usually not necessarily. You're going to have to do that in the agency when you meet them. But if you have one, I suggest you also send the video as well. So all of this combined are all what you need to get started. It's literally your first step. So you need to have all of these pictures, all of this measurement ready and ready to send. So you just put all of this on the application, send it, okay? Sometimes they require a little bit more, sometimes they require a little bit less, but it's always better to be more prepared than not. So once you send this, usually some people would take few days or a week to get back to you based on how much they get their application, because sometimes some people want to consult with their other partners and colleagues. What do you think about this model? Oh, is she something potential? Is she something we can work with? Can she bring us money, clients, etc.? So if it's yes, 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 then they will contact you on an email or on the phone to set an appointment to meet in person. Now in person, they will tell you, bring your bikini with you. Oh, by the way, on the application, when you're sending online first, it's usually required to wear like a black jeans and a white top, or vice versa. So it could be a black top and a black jeans, or white tank top and a black jeans. But anyways, it needs to be like a kind of, it shows your silhouette, so it needs to be skinny, it needs to show your figure. You can't wear baggy outfit, because they want to see how your body actually looks like. So that's just something I forgot to say. So moving on to when they're gonna set an appointment for you to meet with them at the office, wherever that will be situated at, you'll be required to bring heels with you. Heels and bikini obviously needs to be in a neutral color, so neutral color or black, so preferably. So anything neutral. Your heels also needs to be black. They can't be chunky heels. They need to be stilettos preferably. So you bring this. It can be pumps, it can be sandals, but as long as they're heels, they're good. So you bring this, and you go to the agency. You kind of also, it's always required to have a hairband with you if you have a longer hair, because they will get pictures of you from the side with your hair pulled back, with your hair down, things like this. So you're gonna walk for them, you're gonna take pictures in your black and white clothes, and also in your bikinis, and walking in your bikinis and walking in your black and white, outfits. So many things they will do this. And if they want you right away, they will let you know right there and then. If they think they need some time to think over it, they'll say thank you very much. I think we'd like to work with you, but we'll confirm with you and we'll let you know within the next few days. Obviously, you cannot be late, obviously, for this kind of appointment. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. So try to be very punctual, because it tells them that, okay, you're not going to be some kind of diva or hard to work with kind of model. So yeah, be as professional as you can be. Smile, when needed to. Show your personality, because they'll tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell them what you're up to, what you're studying, what you're working as, where you're from, where your parents, something really interesting that can kind of captivate them. Tell them a bit why you want to be a model. You can't say, oh, I want to be a model because, I want to be famous. That's just not, no. If that's what you want to be, then that's not the right place for you to be at, honey. Trust me. So you need to have your reasons, what you want to do and stuff like this. And they're going to take all of this into consideration. And, because they need to look at the whole package. That does she have a good personality? Does she have that, captivating, attractive personality that once we send her on a go see, and go see is like, they give you your comp cards. Comp cards, by the way, are kind of like it's kind of almost like a portfolio, but like it's a short card that has your most basic, it has your natural look on the front, and on the back it has like some few collections of maybe you on the runway, some editorials you've done before, some magazines you were on before, like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, so that when you give it to a client, this is something they just look like, oh, is she the model we need? Okay, is she not? Thank you very much, or thank you, we want you. So this is what they call by comp card. It's like a composite card basically, but people shut it as comp cards. So comp card is also different from portfolio. Portfolio sometimes can be, you can have it in a big pile of binded heavy book, which is really heavy. I remember in Turkey, oh my gosh, carrying this every day out, this was work. So sometimes you can have your comp cards, paper wise, or it could be on a iPad, on a mini pad, where they can just swipe digitally, and I think that's much more eco and efficient. Or they just go on your website, on your agency website, and they see all of this and they can check this out. But comp cards, anyways, you need this, because these are something that the client will hold, and if they want you, they will keep this comp cards, and these are what they will kind of like put on fashion shows and the backstage, like close to your table, on your chair, where you belong to, and for people to know who they're working with, what your skin color is, your hair type is, etc. So that's just what comp cards is. And if they don't want you at the castings, they just throw the comp card literally in the trash bag, which I've seen once, and oh my gosh, that just broke my heart when they did that to a lot of models. But anyways, don't take it really hard. Okay, I'm talking too fast. Let me rewind back. So what I was saying basically is, let's say you're at the agency, they want you, etc. We're going off of they want you. If they do not want you, try other agencies. Obviously, even when you're applying to one, don't just apply to one agency. Apply to as few as possible, 3 or 4. That way, if all of them want you, now you have the ball in your court, because now they're gonna need to convince you, kind of tell you why they want you, what they can do for you to achieve what you want as a model and stuff like this. And now, not to say that you go in there saying, oh, I have other model agencies checking for me, because no, that is not professional. Just kind of be like, I haven't looked into others, but I'm trying to see if I could see other options, but I'm mostly interested in your agency, just to kind of make them know that, okay, they're also of priority, and you're not you're taking it seriously. So based on that, you can choose on which agency offers you the best deal and benefit. Now, what most of the agencies are going to tell you is either, okay, we have clients for you for runway shows, we have some, fashion shoots, you can do some photo shoots here and there, we're going to send you here, if you want to go abroad, we can send you on contract to this country, to that country, and stuff like this. We have agencies that we have partnered up with there. So these are like things that, that are very like, okay, they can deliver on their words, and you need to be able to tell them, to tell you how it is, not to sugarcoat it, because a lot of agencies, yes, I've had my own share part of good and bad agencies. Some agencies will promise you heaven and earth and deliver zero. Okay, nada. So you need to kind of, have this conversation that I want you to be realistic with me. Am I the kind of model that you can bring the best out of? Am I the model that you can actually help? Like, it'll be easier to work with me, like you have clients from me, like this is my market. So if it's yes, 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 then you have your answer. Like, yes, these are the models. Now they're going to tell you what is their commission. Now, a lot of agencies, their commissions are usually 25% or 20% within this rate. So you can kind of decide what you want to bargain your commissions to. But I suggest, if you're an amateur model, better not to bargain. Okay, it's better to just go with what they say, but never go above 25%. Once it's above 25%, then it's a bit of a problem, because remember, you also need to pay tax, and depending on which country you are, country I'm in, I need to pay tax separately. Now it's a contractual tax on its own. So as a model, I pay tax on every contracted job that I do. So I paid tax on that separately. Whilst I was working, also before, I was also paying tax. So you can imagine how many taxes I was paying, guys. So I do. And guys, you need to make sure they're paying your taxes, because if you blow up or they do some background check, the IRS, the financial people, and they see you don't pay tax, you could be the one going to jail instead of them. So you need to make sure that they're paying tax. Sometimes you can tell them, like, oh, can you send me the fiscal year policy or whatever paper, so that you can kind of factor check and cross check that, okay, your taxes are being paid. So because some agencies can be a bit shady, but I'm not gonna go into that. That's not my business. The business I need to tell you basically is, once you get your agency, this is basically how you get your agencies and everything, and they accept you or not, but we're going with the fact that they accept you. If they don't accept you, you can apply to others and you go in. If also they don't accept you and now you have rejections from 2 agencies, you can kind of ask them, like, what is the thing that they make them choose you, or what is something you would like them to kind of advise you on to work on. It could be on your walk in itself, because a lot of models, they're not really good walking. I mean, not to say that it's really deal breaking. Sometimes some models are just, okay, her walk is trash, but we don't have to send her to runway shows, or we can invest in her and give her some runway catwalking classes, because we think she can make it. So either that, and some people be like, okay, we don't have to send her to runway shows, she can just do editorial shoots and stuff like this, and that's enough. So it really depends, but once they tell you, at least you know what you can work on for the next castings. What I mean by castings basically is, when you go see the agencies, they look at you, they take pictures from every angle, and they see your com cards and your portfolio, and they decide if they want you or not, right then or later on. So that's just casting with agency in itself. Now once you're in, you're gonna go on few castings for few jobs. Sometimes you have some direct bookings, and direct bookings are basically jobs that you just like, they just send your portfolio to the client and they want you right away, like, yeah, we want this model, this is the look, that's it, she's booked. That's direct bookings. And also sometimes it could be abroad, you're also direct booking, you don't have to do any castings. They just send the pictures of you that they have at that moment, your fresh snaps, and the portfolios that you've been gathering along from other photo shoots and blah 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 and this and this. So those are direct bookings. Now there are other bookings that you need to go and be casted for. You need to go on castings, meaning you need to go to the venue. It could be just you that they just want to see, they want to try some clothes on you, see how it fits. You go on, you walk for them, go up and back. They talk to you a bit, maybe if they want to, just to kind of get the feel of the kind of person you are. They ask you some questions, etc. So this is just castings. They see you how you are without makeup, by the way. Some countries, yes, you are required to wear makeup, like in Turkey. Yes, you need to be done up. Yep. But in most countries in Europe, they prefer you without makeup. If you go with makeup and they see all of this, it's already red flag and you will not get casted, honey. So just, okay, if you're a bit insecure with your face, maybe you have a little bumps here and there, okay, you can add just a little bit coverage or concealer just to cover it, but nothing for other people to know, to be able to notice that it's makeup. That's just my own advice for you. And if you really have skin problem, but honestly, modeling also will not be your lane, because they are going to, I wouldn't say bash, but for them it's very major that you have a clear skin, a good, so that's why you really need to take care of your skin. Like for me as a model, I really care for my skin. I go to a cosmetologist. I do so many rituals on this face that it costs a lot of money on its own. It's a different kind of maintenance. But maybe if you're lucky with great skin and you're young and everything, just stick to your diet, clean diet, and wash your face when you need to, put as less makeup as possible. And this will do for a while till you start earning more, more money, and okay, you could kind of invest a little bit in your face here and there, and some creams, etc. So that's that on castings. Now let's go on a short break, okay? Because I need to take a sip of my tea and come back, and then I'll give you just the remaining juice on modeling and etc. Thank you guys. Don't go anywhere. These are for my women out there, especially to the single mothers. I just want to use this opportunity to remind you that it's okay to take a break. It's okay to pause. It's okay to take a step back. And it's okay to definitely relax, because you deserve it. What I do when I'm stressed is I either go for a massage, or I stay home, I take a warm bath, I light my candles, and I play a really nice, mellow music in the background. For other people, it could be going for a manicure or pedicure. For others, it could be going to get their hair done in the salon. And for some people, it could be doing yoga, whilst other people just staying home with a glass of wine and reading a book. Doesn't matter how long or short this is, as long as you're still and present in the moment. Remember that how you treat others and love upon them is the energy you put on how you love and treat yourself. And don't forget the most important thing, which is self-care is the best care. Welcome back, guys. So now that you guys know what to do, what steps you need to take to join the modeling, and once you're in, things you'll be doing. Now, here are things for you to do and not to do. Obviously, not to eat junk food and fast food. Okay, once in a while you can have your cheat day, if, considering, and obviously it should be a no-brainer, considering if you're working out and or sticking to a strict or healthy diet, okay? I myself do not have a strict diet because I have great metabolism, hence why modeling is very easy for me, but I keep to a clean diet, and I do work out once in a while. It's not frequent now, obviously, due to pandemic, but I do my yoga once in a while. I do some stretching, and I just keep a healthy lifestyle, like you won't come to my place and see, junk. Like, you won't see chocolates. I mean, I have a cupboard, okay, dedicated for chocolates and stuff, but these are for my guests, and I'm not the kind of person that's craves a lot of sweets. So I could have this in my cupboard for a month and not touch it. So that's just me. I don't have soda drinks in my refrigerator. A lot of things are just soda. They're just freshly squeezed juice, or different kind of yogurt and stuff like this. But I don't eat a lot of salads too, per se. I am just the kind of person that I like to incorporate salad in my meals, but you won't catch me on a normal daily basis eating salad morning, afternoon, evening. No way. But now, let's say I will have a fashion show soon, then okay, like 2 weeks before, then I'm kind of having a bit of a strict diet. Like, okay, maybe eating salads in the afternoons, and eating something really really light in the evening before bed. Like, I'm more cautious, but because I just know, okay, I need to get through the fashion show, come back, because you're gonna get pictures of you walking. It's not something that you're doing an editorial or photo shoot where they can edit stuff. You can do the same pose over and over. This is just a live event. You're going to be documented, and pictures whilst walking. So you want your figure obviously to look really good. You want to be able to look back at your picture and be like, okay, I look good. You don't want to be like, oh my god, what is that? Was that my face? Models be having this insecurities once in a while, but it's okay. So yeah, so those are just the things you should and shouldn't do. Of course, you can keep to a more stricter diet if you're the kind of person that have low metabolism, obviously, but to a healthy manner. Obviously, you shouldn't starve yourself. You shouldn't, I'm gonna have another episode on the whole bulimic anorexia type of stuff, but for now, just know, guys, you should not it shouldn't be too you shouldn't do too much, like that costs your life and that costs your health in order to be a model. Okay, it won't be meant for you if you have to go through all of that. So eat healthy, eat frequently, even within one day. You could normally you should eat 5 times a day, but you can eat less, and you eat some diets that are more custom for yourself. So, and usually also before, I would have a monthly diet meal delivered to me. So they always would deliver it in the morning, and I will eat this. And I have, maybe either to lose weight, or, to be fit and stuff like this. So it depends on which diet company you're going on to, and they could kind of, fit it, adjust it to your requirements, and you don't have to think, oh, what do I have to cook, what do I have to eat, blah blah blah. So that's just my take on that. Another thing for you to keep watch on, or keep an eye out on, is your social media. Now, once you're a model, you're kind of now like a brand in its own. So everything you do will kind of reflect on the agency. So not to say that you can't go partying or clubs, but you definitely, I mean, you can, but you shouldn't, party and post every single thing, how you're dancing, how you're rolling on the floor. Now you need to carry yourself with more class, and or if you want to party amongst your friends, just keep your phone away. Tell everybody to keep their phone away. Nobody's tagging nobody, because now you're a model, and sometimes a client could see your portfolios, and they want to see your Instagram, how you look like. If it's on that day that you posted this on your story, it might really leave a bad taste for them, and they could tell the agency, sorry, we're not interested in them, and they could tell them the reason why. And if the agency know this, they could even fine you, because it will be stated in the contract that you and the agency are going to sign. By the way, speaking of contracts, obviously when you're going to join the agency, you're going to have a contract drafted out by the agency. You really, really, really need to look at this contract very, very closely, carefully. If you don't know what to do, DM me, okay? Hopefully not all of you at the same time, but I can look at this for you and kind of tell you what some terms and terminology means, etc. If you want to get a lawyer, okay, good for you, but it's I don't think it's that necessary unless you're like a professional model before. So look at your contract closely. Just don't sign anything that you don't know. I've had my own fair share of it, because you really could be handicapped for many years by a contract. Also, sign contract for as less minimum years as possible. A lot of agencies are very like strict. They just want to keep you, okay? They tell you they need 5 years. 5 years is too much, okay? The minimum you can do is sign for a year and 3 years. A lot of agencies, on the average, it's more 3 years. So this is a bit okay. This is really okay. And in some of the contracts, they will tell you that if you want to let if you want to leave the agency, you have to tell them 6 months prior. And 6 months prior, some agencies can really be petty and try not to give you any job within that 6 months. And you cannot join another agencies at the same time. So basically, you'll be handicapped and jobless, and for 6 months. So it's really, really hard. And some agencies, it can be mutual. You can just tell them that I want to leave because so. And if they agree, like, you know what, okay, we're ready to let you go, then it can be nullified. But it's easier said than done. Not a lot of agencies want to let their models go, so they really make it really, really tough. And if you join another agency behind their back, because maybe for what reason another agency offered you a better deal, you will be fined. So what another agency could do, if they want you whilst you're still in another agency, they could talk to the other agency. They could pay the fine for you. If you're really that, if you're really of an asset to them, then they could pay, the fine. Almost like, when you're buying a player in a club, this is how it is. So they kind of buy you over to their agency, and so. But you need to be careful, because a lot of agencies could also write this in your book and think you're gonna have to pay every penny of this. So I feel like you guys are not going to understand every single thing that I'm telling you, but you know what? DM me if some part of the segment is a bit unclear, and I will try as much as possible to clarify it. But there's so much to know in the industry that now I'm almost kind of like, oh my gosh, I want to say so much, but I don't even have enough time to say all of this. And I don't even know if it's right for me to say all of it, but I'm saying the most that I should and that I can. So, yeah. Anyways, what was I saying before I jumped into the whole contract situation? How to basically carry yourself and carry your brand. Um, Obviously, you need to work on your social media platform. So you need to start posting a lot more, classy stuff. I mean, not classy stuff, but more eye pleasing pictures, art, and stuff like this, so that even some of your works that you've done before, it's usually normally required for you to post a few pictures from the project, from the magazines. Sometimes commercial. I usually don't post commercials. I don't even know where they end up at, but they're somewhere on the clouds. But anyways, some pictures just to kind of shape to shape your brand, your social media platform, because it gives another look, another side to you. So yes, and sometimes other people could even get you from social media, not even per se through your agency or on the website. It could be just on your website. So you need to carry yourself well. You need to just stick to what you say you are, what your brand is all about, and go with that. You could have other side talents you do. It's always great if you can dance, sing, design, many things. You could put that there as well on your timeline, so it gives other clients to kind of see what you're working with as well. Some agencies normally manage some models page, but I choose not to, because I think I'm grown and I'm pretty matured enough. But some people, yes, they do require for them to be managed, and maybe because they're a bit reckless out there. So I wouldn't fault the agencies for this, but other agencies are just strict, point blank. So they really watch everything, every picture you need to post, you need to send them for approval before they could say yes or no. So that's a bit, it's semantics. You can decide if it's a tough one for you to handle or not. But I'm glad I'm at this stage in my life that I don't have to, ask for a lot of approval anyways. A lot of agencies, especially if you're new in the industry, you would need to ask for every approval. You can't write to anybody without their permission. You need to always direct them to your agencies because you're basically new and they don't want you to be taken advantage of. And also some other agencies too, they just feel like they want to get in on the commissions, for the pay as well. So if you're kind of writing behind them, they feel like you're backstabbing them, etc. And this is just another subject you don't want to know about. But just keep it light, follow the rules, whatever it says that you should do and you shouldn't do. You can't cancel job last minute. So if you say you're going to do a certain job, you need to keep to it, stick to it, commit to it. And also for your own personal self, I would advise you that you need to know what you also stand for, what your integrity is, what your principles are. So if you're the kind of models that you do not want to shoot in lingerie, let your agency know right from the start and tell them not to sway you or persuade you that you wouldn't do this. If you wouldn't do nude, let them know this, that you wouldn't. I mean, they try to, a lot of clients still try to push us even right on set. If you do not want to talk back at them, just call your agency or write your agency straight away that they're trying to make me do this, but I do not want to do this. Please, can you tell them to stop it? Something like that. Or if you're as bold as I am, just tell them right away that I will not do this. This is not what I do. I do fashion, not nude. Period. Point blank. But there are other some models that they're very comfortable in their body and their skin and they don't mind doing this. And, so everybody to each their own. That's why you need to know what you stand for, your integrity. Because if you do not know what you stand for, honey, you're going to fall for anything. So that's just my advice to you. If let's say you would like to go on a contract abroad, which as I said earlier is basically another agency will be representing you abroad for a period of time. Maybe, I mean, you could be studying as well and being a model. Let's say you're not like professional like full-time in this sense, what I mean. But let's say you want to go on contract. This could be done during your spring break, summer break, winter break, etc. You would go out for this period of time that you're free in and work and come back, and it's good money for you. You're earning money, you come back home. Contract is a bit different, but I feel like agencies are going to fill you in on everything. The contracts are usually set also differently on the paper, so really look towards it, see that it's something you want to do and not. And yeah, I feel like there's so much more also I could go into it. Okay, maybe the money aspect, the financial aspect. Know that in the beginning when you're working, you might not get, paid right away. Like it takes a while because you're trying to get yourself in the market. So it could take a while, so be patient, And also, if you're doing modeling for money straight away, honey, it's not going to happen because modeling is very hard. Okay, sometimes when you do work, you get your money a month, between a month to 3 months after your work. So just because you're doing a job right now doesn't mean you're going to get your pay immediately or within that month. It will take 1 to 3 months. So usually when I work, honestly, I just forget this money. I forget that I'm even having any money coming into my account. It's just sometimes I look at my bank account and I'm like, ooh, who sent that? Then I'm like, wow, okay. So it's kind of nice when you get surprised, but honestly, it's really hard to forget that it's going to take a while for your money to get into your account, especially commercials. I'm gonna get to commercials later. But also I feel like runway shows, they pay less than photo shoots. Wait, when you're doing magazines, sometimes it depends. Some magazines you can get paid for, but most of the magazines that you're doing, you're not getting paid for it. So just so you know. So all of us you be seeing in magazines, not all of us are getting paid. I mean, most of us are not even getting paid, because you should be glad anyways you're on the magazines. That's kind of what it's saying for. So if you're gonna be a cover of a magazine or in the page of a magazine, you should be honored, because it kind of like puts you out there. It kind of puts you out there, like that's the model that that we know currently. Or if they don't know who this model is, then now people are suddenly curious because they're looking through the magazine and seeing you. So it's some kind of PR marketing type of stuff. And you get to wear designer clothes, etc. So it's always nice as well when you want to cast for different brands. You can say, oh, in so magazine I was wearing your design outfit, etc. So before, I never used to collect my magazines, but now I'm trying to I think half of it I don't have, but now I'm trying to have some, because a lot of designers or the clients, they do give me a copy of this afterwards. So now I'm trying to keep some, and sometimes it's just nice to have. These are also kind of like your portfolios, and sometimes you could show your friends when they come over, something for them to kind of keep time, look at the magazines if they're bored, and you could show your parents. And yeah, something to also make yourself feel good when you have shitty bad days. So that's magazines. Now when you do campaigns can pay well, but it depends on how long they want to use your image for. So if they want to use your image just for a social media platform for few months, it's a different kind of pricing range, which your agency is going to let you know. If it's just for a very long time and they want a fixed price, sometimes they'll also let you know. But with campaigns, with copyrights, also you could get paid for a while as well. So it's good money as well. For fashion shows, honestly, it's not that well paid, and I think that's because there's so many models walking, so obviously they can't pay you like you would really expect them to. It's a lot of budget to make a fashion show, I guess, compared to photography. So that's why people earn really really low. But let's say there's a fashion week and you're gonna do maybe 4 shows. Three is like usually an average. 3 shows to 5 shows, let's say you're really buzzing on the market and a lot of people want you, and the fashion shows are not colliding with other fashion jobs that you have. Then if you calculate all of this money, it's a lot of money too in itself. But let's say you just have one, it's really bad. Okay. But sometimes you just do the fashion show just because you want to also get the feel of how it is to be on a runway. Sometimes I really get my energy and adrenaline from walking on stage. I love the feel, so I really love runway shows. So now it's a bit sad, pandemic and everything, but it is what it is. So that's just fashion show stuff in itself. And also mostly you get paid a month after with fashion shows, so it will take a while. And with copyrights, if you do campaigns, they will pay you after a month or two, okay, max, for sure. They'll pay you the base and everything. Of course, when you get the money in your account, because the agency is sending it to you, they already deducted their commission and they already deducted the tax. So the one you're gonna get is just your money. But if you want to pay your tax yourself, then you can easily tell them to send you without the tax and you pay your tax. But you need to be careful, because if they come to check the agencies and they see, oh, what about this account, and they say, oh, the model pays the tax, sometimes they want to contact you and they want the proof that you're paying the tax. So it's always better to leave the agency to pay the tax for you. Now moving on to before I move on to commercials, casters for runway shows can really 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 be hectic. It's almost like commercials. There's a lot of models and they're picking maybe quarter of how many people is there. You could be hundreds of people there and they just need like 20 people max. So sometimes it's luck. I wouldn't. Yeah, sometimes luck, honestly, and sometimes if you're really familiar with some faces and they really know you, or you're just really really good, you're just really booming, around that season. So it's a mixture of a little bit of everything. Sometimes it also depends on which agency you're into as well, because a lot of people, they have favoritism when it comes to agencies. So they see this, you belong to a certain name, they already, there's something that goes behind the stage that's kind of like, okay, we're gonna for sure hire 5 of your models and blah blah blah. But I'm not gonna talk into that. That's none of my business. Again, I'm gonna talk about what's my business, okay? What's paying me. So moving on to commercials. If you're going for commercials, some agencies with modeling, they can have some commercial jobs for you, and some, they don't meddle with commercials. So you have to search commercials in itself and go there and send them your picture of you introducing yourself, doing some funny faces, surprise, cry, sad, happy, this kind of stuff. Send it to them. If they want you, then they'll keep you. When there's a search and need for a model that look like you, then they're gonna call you, you're gonna go there. Usually there's hundreds of people as well. This is even worse, casting. That's why a lot of models don't like going to commercial castings. Even a lot of people don't like commercial casting. You have to be there super early, because if you're even 10 minutes late or 20 minutes late, you could you might have to wait for a very 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 long time. So that's just commercials in itself. They pay a lot. That's why there's so many people that want to get this job, right? But it's really sad, because they only need like one main character, two subordinate characters, and few extras. And obviously, in this order, you get paid more. So if you're a main character, obviously you get the most paid than if you're an extra. So a lot of models don't do extra, by the way. Extras really really get the most shitty pay, I'm just saying. So they don't even need to be in an agency. So that's that. But if you do get the job, you will have a feeding session, just like if you wanted to do a runway show, you kind of have a feeding session. So you have a separate day. They'll check the outfit on you, blah blah blah. Then sometimes if you're going out of town to shoot, they'll cover everything. Usually, yeah, all jobs, they usually cover all transportations and accommodations and meals. So you have nothing to worry about. And yeah, you just do your shows. Then you get your paycheck probably within 3 months. It takes a while. And if you also get paid for the copyright, and if this copyright will be extended for a very long time, or they're going to extend the countries. So let's say before, the contract was only drafted on countries in Europe. Let's say they want to move it to Asia. It means they're gonna have to pay you more money and stuff like this, and they'll let your agency know, and your agency will let you know. So obviously you need to have a certain trust with your agency. This is why it's always very very important to look into which kind of agency you want to join at the end of the day, because some people can really, I don't want to say scam, but they could really take advantage of you and use you with the fact that you're an amateur and you don't know much about the business. So yeah, I'm just lucky a bit that I studied business. I knew a lot of colleagues, and I switched agencies. So it's always better not to stay with one agency for, let's say, I don't know, 7-10 years. It's always good to kind of change, just to see how it's been done in other agency. You also kind of get a feel of how it is, if you were being treated better in the agency before compared to. But in my own experience, the new agency I get, the better understanding I have, the better treatment I have, the better cooperation I have, and the better trust. So that's just how it is. Guys, it's been really my pleasure sharing all of this with you guys. If you guys want more information, just DM me and I will let you know to my best of ability. If I don't know, I'll ask my colleagues that are also doing this way more before I started, and I'll definitely let you know. So yeah, guys, all the advice I can just be patient, be you, be confident, and yes, and strive hard, okay? Fight for what you want, and at the end of the day, if you're a hardworking girl, you will get there. It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. So I wish you guys good luck, and guys, give me details on how it's going. I want to know. And yes, thank you so much guys for listening. It's been my pleasure. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely week ahead of you guys. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you guys for listening and staying tuned till now. If you like this episode, or you would like me to talk about something else in my next episode, or you have questions, comments, anything, just DM me on my Instagram account, Agnesita, AGNESSITTA, and I'll get back to you guys. It's your girl Agnes on Ghetto Stories.